How's it going, guys? My name is Wilson. With the 2019 NBA free agency just a couple days away, it will be one of the most important times of the year and perhaps deciding the future of the outcome of the eventual 2020 NBA champions. While Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving will make most of the headlines, some players probably have already given us hints on where they're gonna go. So here's my prediction for the top 25 NBA free agents and where I think they'll take their talents to. Number 25, Al-Farouq Aminu. His contract of 4 years of $30 million came to an end. Served as a solid starting forward who averaged 9.5 points, 7.5 boards, known for his defense but very limited offensively, can hit the threes at times. Since the Blazers already have Nassir Little and traded for Ken Bazemore, I predict Aminu will sign with the Sacramento Kings as an experienced veteran who will look to make an impact as the team aims to make the postseason. Number 24, Marcus Morris, who's very effective as a scorer, completing a 4-year $20 million deal. His grit and attitude to step up in big moments is huge for any team with playoff aspirations. I see him signing with Dallas as the third offensive option who will get tons of open looks from Luka Doncic. A 3-year $33 million deal sounds about right. Number 23, Patrick Beverley, who turned 31 on July 12th, will get huge attractions from multiple teams. I can picture him get a 2-year deal worth $30 million. Coming off as a guy who made around $26 million his first 7 seasons, I'll predict Pat Bev will sign with his hometown team, the Chicago Bulls, a place where he always dreamed of playing. He'll be an excellent mentor for Kobe White and the young guys. His attitude and heart fits perfectly with the city of Chicago, and the franchise is in desperate need of good veteran leaders. Number 22, DeAndre Jordan, who I predict will be moving across boroughs to the Brooklyn Nets. The 7-footer will turn 31 next month and has been a solid contributor over the last 6 seasons, averaged no fewer than 10.4 points and 13 rebounds. Although this era is not a big men's league, I have a feeling Jordan will take way less than he desires, and looking to contend with a couple stars around him, I can see him sign a 2-year deal worth $10 million and be a big mentor to Jared Allen in the front court rotation. Number 21, Terry Rozier, the Los Angeles Lakers, who I don't believe will add another superstar, but will use their remaining cap on quality players and add depth on their roster. Scary Terry was supposed to be a $19 to $20 million guy, but underperformed last season, only averaged 9 points a game, but he's proven he can deliver in big moments come postseason time. I can see Rozier getting a deal worth around 3-year $36 million. Number 20, Brook Lopez, who I believe will re-sign with the Milwaukee Bucks on a 2-year $15 million deal. Coming off averaging 12.5 points, 5 rebounds, the 31-year-old attempted 512 threes, by far the most of his career, fits perfectly with the offense alongside Giannis, will continue being a lethal outside shooter. Number 19, JJ Redick, resigning with the Philadelphia 76ers, where the 6'3 sharpshooter is already 35 years old, will be targeted by many teams after coming off a 1-year $12 million deal. Averaged the most points of his career of 18.1, Redick had his 2 best scoring seasons with Philly, where he's able to maximize his strength, and Simmons will always find him when he's open. I see JJ getting a 2-year worth around $24 million. Number 18, Harrison Barnes, who declined a $25.1 million player option for the Kings. Didn't help the team much, but he's a very good third option on a good team, very solid defensively. The Pacers have $32 million in cap space, and Barnes could provide some scoring where the team's currently lacking. Number 17, Bojan Bogdanović, who was the number 1 scoring option at times after Oladipo's injury, but fits more comfortably on a balanced role. The 30-year-old is coming off a career high of 18 points off a 2-year $21 million contract, and he wouldn't be super expensive, so I believe the Spurs will try to trade DeMar DeRozan, who's under contract through the upcoming season, and Bojan will fit flawlessly with San Antonio and get around a 3-year $40 million deal. Number 16, Thaddeus Young. After the Pacers trade for TJ Warren, Young will likely take his talents elsewhere, where the 31-year-old is a solid 2-way player, can shoot the threes, excels in the half-court setting. I predict he will sign with the Utah Jazz, where he will fit perfectly in the power forward position, as the team will likely try to get rid of Derek Favors. Young is very crafty, plays good defense, and doesn't demand the ball to be effective. Number 15, Julius Randle, who opted out of his $9.1 million player option, had a career year putting up 21.4 points, almost 9 rebounds, will likely get a multi-year deal from multiple teams, likely a 3-year $60 million deal. I predict he will sign with the New York Knicks, who seem like they might strike out on landing any superstar. While Randle's only 24 years old, a couple years away from his prime, and one of the most underrated players in the league that never gets mentioned, has a chance to become a future All-Star. Number 14, Malcolm Brogdon, who's a restricted free agent with the Bucks and played a huge role at the starting two guard, where other Eastern Conference opponents like Philly and Boston will be interested. So I believe the Bucks will match whatever the 26-year-old gets offered. I expect a 4-year, $80 million deal. Number 13, Nikola Vucevic, who came out having a career year as a first-time All-Star, but underperformed against Marc Gasol in the first round, will command for high dollars, and with Orlando being an average team with many young players, I see the 28-year-old sign with the Celtics, who will likely have Al Horford gone, and now without Aaron Baines, the team desperately needs a solid center, and Vuce is an effective rebounder, can hit the three, stretch the floor, will be a huge asset for Brad Stevens. Number 12, Al Horford, where he's gotten multiple attractions, declined his $30 million player option, where Mark Stein reported a team offered him an insane 4-year worth $112 million, where he's already 33 years old, and I predict it's a young team like the Kings or Pelicans, so I'm gonna go with Sacramento, who has a lot of money to spend this summer, and having a veteran big man to lead the young guys seems like a good foundation, especially for Marvin Bagley. Number 11, DeMarcus Cousins, who I believe will stay with the Golden State Warriors and sign another 1-year contract and have a full season back from injury looking to bounce back, will get offered around $6 million. Where Golden State will desperately need him offensively being short-handed next season, Draymond can protect him on defense. Number 10, Tobias Harris, who cost Philly Landry Shamet and a pair of first-round picks to land him, knowing that he's due for a huge contract. The soon-to-be 27-year-old is a reliable scorer who gives you about 20 a game. I don't believe Philly wants to lose him for all that, so I predict the franchise will keep him and give him a 4-year worth $100 million offer. Number 9, Khris Middleton, who will certainly get at least a 4-year deal worth $100 million from multiple teams. Many teams wouldn't be able to afford him for 5 years, and with the Bucks knowing that, I predict he'll stay put in Milwaukee, getting a 4-year contract. By trading away Tony Snell, the franchise is in a better position resigning all their guys, where they can create another $6 million in cap space by waiving and stretching John Lewis' contract. Number 8, D'Angelo Russell. There's been many rumors he might reunite with the Lakers and possibly go to the Suns, where both teams don't have big money to pay the 23-year-old point guard. But I predict he will sign with the Minnesota Timberwolves to team up with the first pick in his draft class in Karl-Anthony Towns, who will make a deadly pick-and-roll combo where the team's currently lacking a point guard. Towns and Russell are very close friends, and the team will need to clear some cap space and somehow try to figure out Andrew Wiggins. Number 7, Kristaps Porziņģis, who will be getting a 5-year $158 million max with Dallas, and he's also very close to Luka Doncic. Very hard for him to turn down that type of money. Number 6, Kemba Walker, who can stay in Charlotte for a supermax since he made All-NBA team, only made the postseason twice in 8 years. Now at 29 years old, I believe he will be sick of losing and sign with the Boston Celtics, who's shown strong interest in the 6'1" point guard after seeing what Isaiah Thomas has done and accomplished in Brad Stevens' system. And now having Brown, Tatum, and Hayward, the C's are looking to pick up where they left off before the Kyrie drama unfolded and will continue to shoot to contend in the East. Number 5, Jimmy Butler, where Philly, Houston, both LA teams, and a few others are interested, but I believe the Sixers will go all out and seize the opportunity to run it back and contend for a title, keeping their same core as they lost at the buzzer in Game 7 to the eventual NBA champs in Toronto, understanding next season's wide open. Philly simply can't afford to lose Butler. With Simmons' lack of shooting and Embiid's inconsistent health, Butler was the one who carried that team in the postseason. Number 4, Klay Thompson, staying with the Warriors. He'll likely be out till February after the ACL injury. If he chooses otherwise, it would be an absolute shocker. After developing a strong bond with Steph and Draymond and the whole organization of Dub Nation, the Warriors will likely offer him a 5-year worth $191 million. Any other team can only give him 4 years, $140. Number 3, Kyrie Irving, who's the heavy favorite landing in Brooklyn, grew up in Jersey and was a Nets fan, always dreamed of playing for his hometown team where the franchise have cap space to sign 2 max players, trading away most of their draft picks. Irving recently signed with Roc Nation, founded by Brooklyn native Jay-Z. There's no doubt in my mind Irving will take his talents to Brooklyn. Number 2, Kevin Durant, who will likely miss the entire next season plus playoffs following his Achilles injury, was in a bad situation, being pressured to come comeback in the finals, making everything worse. Durant already won 2 titles with the Warriors and will look for a fresh start where the pressure and expectations for the Nets compared to the Knicks is way different. GM Sean Marks and the whole organization is way better than Dolan's dysfunctional Knicks, who makes headlines all for the wrong reasons. KD also knows it's very important to be able to carry a team on his back and win as the face of the franchise, something that will cement his legacy even greater. I predict Durant will sign with the Nets right before Kyrie announces his decision to make it seem like KD wasn't the one who followed Kyrie. Number 1, Kawhi Leonard. Between the Clippers and Raptors, where Kawhi wanted to be in Los Angeles for over a year, but after what transpired over the last 11 months, winning a title for the city of Toronto, Kawhi is literally king of the North, had the most memorable time playing ball in the Raptors uniform. From hitting the incredible game-winning shot in Game 7 against Philly to putting the whole team on his shoulder, the team certainly has his back. It will be very hard for Leonard to think about leaving, and he recently signed a sponsorship with Cargo Jet Airways based in Canada. Clippers fans are very worried where Kawhi will have his meeting in LA on July 2nd, an important moment that will awake Leonard's future. I believe he'll stay with Toronto and sign a 2-year deal with a player option the 2nd year and look to repeat before testing free agency in 2020. Other names I haven't mentioned, Marc Gasol and Paul Millsap, will have player options. I believe both of them will stay with their respective teams, where Millsap will make over $30 million next season. Thank you so much for watching this video. With free agency coming up in just a couple days, for my next giveaway, if Kyrie Irving signs with another team that's not the Brooklyn Nets, the first person to DM me on IG at WilsonSide93 after it's officially announced that Kyrie will not be taking his talents to Brooklyn will win a free Kyrie Irving jersey on his new team. But you gotta DM me right after Woj or other credible sources on Twitter tweets it out. If you DM me the day before, 2 days before, or even 10 minutes before and predict the right team where Kyrie Irving's going, that doesn't count. So I'll be monitoring everything very closely. Best of luck to each and every one of you. I love all of you. See you next time.